While this video is about the rival adventuring party found in Call of the Netherdeep, I need to reference a couple of other things just to give it a little bit of context. Game Master's here, and for those of you that watch or watched The Walking Dead, our heroes were Rick Grimes and his group. His rival would be the Governor or Negan. But what if we had started watching the story unfold from their point of view first? Negan probably would be the hero, with Rick and company being the rival party. Likewise, take a look at the Avengers and their fight against Thanos. Thanos would have been the rival, but there were many that feel that Thanos was not wrong, making the Avengers the rival party. The rival adventure party in Call of the Netherdeep is very similar. They're not bad guys, they're just adventurers, just like the players, and in fact, their alignment is on par with what most player characters would be. As a quick overview, you have the player characters. This is what you, the player, will play, your character. The rival adventure party is, by all accounts, just another group of adventurers, but these guys are run 100% by the Dungeon Master. Just as you have an adventure to embark upon, so does the rival party. As you fight off foes, gather gold, find magic weapons, and gain experience, so does this rival party. In Call of the Netherdeep, events unfold for both of you, and the longer you linger in one spot, the more of an advantage the rival party will have in completing the task at hand. Call of the Netherdeep is, for the most part, its own self-contained adventure, with the overall premise being to help redeem the Apotheon to bring peace to the land of Exandria. I almost said Alexandria, I've got Walking Dead on my brain. The rival adventuring party has their own aspirations and motivations for getting to the end of this adventure. I mean, bringing peace to a chaotic situation is as noble an adventure as any other. That said, and I'm speaking now both to DMs and players here, as you and your players move through this adventure, so does the rival adventuring party. When the players first encounter the rival party, it is at the Festival of Merit in Jigao, where small tests of might, and an arm wrestling contest, a swimming competition, and whatnot will pit the two parties against each other. The adventuring party has 3 total tiers, 1 being what the players will encounter at the festival, and tier 3 being what you will face up against in later chapters of the overall adventure. Let's explore some specifics about the rival adventure party. Their leader is Ayo, a water genocide born to orc parents. She is of chaotic good alignment. She gets along best with Dermot Werder and Maggie Keen-Eyes, with newcomers to the party being Galsarade Ardeth and Arvine Wastewalker. Ayo is short-tempered and makes decisions with very little thought. Dermot Werder is the 12th son of a poor goblin family and looks vaguely like Yoda and wants to become a great champion just to make a name for himself. He is of lawful good alignment. He and Ayo have known each other since childhood, and he jumped at the chance to join her when she formed her adventuring party. Maggie Keen-Eyes is a 12-foot tall ogre with bright blue eyes. She only recently met Ayo and Dermot, but the 3 have been inseparable ever since. She loves poetry and music and is of lawful neutral alignment. The newest member of Ayo's party is Galsarade Ardeth. He is a drow around 200 years old, is snarky and sarcastic, but that's really to mask his overall insecurities. He is of neutral alignment. Arvine Wastewalker, Irv to his friends, is a human that struck out on his own at a very young age and has a reputation for being kind of a party animal. He is of chaotic neutral alignment. Also, too, on the cover, right here, is a collage of those adventurers. I don't want to jump into their tier 2 or 3 stats, some things have to remain a mystery, but I think a quick overview of what their capabilities are in their tier 1 form would help paint a clearer picture of how the rival adventure party will work in this book's adventure setting. Real quick, however, before we jump into their tier 1 form, I'd love to ask that if you're enjoying this video to please give it a thumbs up. I'm still in my tier 1 YouTube form and would love to advance up to tier 10 million. And liking this video and subscribing helps that almighty YouTube algorithm, thus granting me experience to advance. And I thank you kindly for that. Ayo's tier 1 shows her to have an armor class of 14, 10d8 plus 20 hit points, with a strength of 14, dexterity of 14, constitution of 14, intelligence of 10, wisdom of 12, and a charisma of 12. She has a challenge rating of 3. Because she is a water genocide, she can breathe air and water, and her favored weapon is a harpoon. She can cast Animal Friendship and Goodberry once a day. Dermot's Tier 1 shows him to have an armor class of 17, 8d6 plus 16 hit points. His strength is 16, dexterity is 12, constitution is 14, intelligence is 10, wisdom is 16, and charisma is 10. He has a challenge rating of 3 as well, and his preferred weapon is a warhammer, and he can cast guidance, light, and spare the dying. Now be sure to remember that spell. We're going to talk about it again in a moment. And he can cast once per day, bless, and cure wounds. Maggie's Tier 1 shows her to have an AC of 13, 10d10 plus 30 hit points with a strength of 18, dexterity of 14, constitution is 16, intelligence is 14, wisdom is 14, and a charisma of 8. She has a challenge rating of 3. Her weapon is a giant maul, and a cool ability she has is tactical readiness. Her and her allies within 30 feet of her have advantage on their initiative rolls, provided she isn't incapacitated. Galcerade's Tier 1 shows him to have an armor class of 12, 14d8 minus 14 hit points. Yeah, minus 14. I don't know if that's a typo or not. Their higher tiers don't have pluses or minuses, just the flat out die roll number. He has a strength of 8, a dexterity of 14, constitution of 8, intelligence of 16, wisdom of 15, and a charisma of 11. And like the others, his challenge rating is also 3. He does not have a weapon of choice at this tier level, but instead opts to cast spells. Irvin's Tier 1 shows him to have an armor class of 13, 12d8 plus 12 hit points. His strength is 8, his dexterity is 14, his constitution is 12, intelligence is 12, wisdom is 12, and charisma is also 12. Very roundabout character. His challenge rating is 3. His weapons of choice are daggers. As they gain tiers, their challenge ratings also increase. Strixhaven, A Curriculum of Chaos, has a similar thing in their book with rival students, but how the rival adventure party is presented here is pretty spectacular. Another thing about the rival party is that they are not out to kill the players. Compete and outwit them, yes. But if they can avoid combat with the players, they would prefer to do that. Remember Demot's spell, Spare the Dying? And I told you we'd return to that. If pressed into combat with the players, and should the rival party best the players, instead of flat out making a killing blow, Demot Werder will cast Spare the Dying. He will actually touch the player that is at 0 hit points and make them stable. And then the rival party will make every attempt to just move along their way. While the book also does not go into major specifics, there are situations in which both the player and the rival adventure party could potentially team up. Of course, they could also just go directly into an all-out slobber-knocker battle royale. Players and DMs alike, if you're looking for more topics about Call of the Netherdeep, we've done some videos going over monsters and the new magic items found within, and of course we're going to continue to add more in the days to come. But feel free to check out this playlist, and feel free to subscribe. We get review copies in of the latest D&D books, and we're going to, of course, cover many aspects of those books once we have them. And if there's something you want to see reviewed, let me know in the comments below. And until next our paths cross, may you and your rival party get along.